much of the competition most of the season. Green has spun circles around the others as he has climbed atop the points, quite possibly to stay. But recently he's received a rush from within the rookie ranks. Two-time truck titleist Ron hammered down Hornaday, swept both Nazareth and Indy. While Hollywood handsome Kevin Harvick burst through the gateway at St. Louis, then blistered the track and the competition last week at Bristol. These impressive rookies joined Jason Keller and Todd Bodine in an extremely tight top 5 points battle. Next stop, Darlington, a Labor Day weekend tradition. This ornery egg-shaped oval typically rewards talent, which could explain why 7 of Mark Martin's series-leading 44 Busch wins have come here. Today, Darlington's Darling of the Busch Series makes his final start at the track Too Tough to Tame.
So now you know, Mark Martin has 44 career wins in the Busch Series, 4 coming this year. But here's the big news. Mark hasn't won a Busch race in 5 months and 1 day. But who's counting? His last Busch win came on April Fool's Day at Texas. Of course, he's only raced in 3 of them since. 2 seconds and a 4th place. In his last 14 starts here at Darlington, 7 wins and 8th or better in 12 of the 14 races. One more thing. He won from the pole here in the spring, and that's where he starts today. Can anybody beat him? Jeff Green's going to try. 5 wins this season, but only 1 win in a race that Martin has competed in. That came at Richmond. Green is running away with a championship. Today he hopes to battle and beat the best that the Busch Series has ever seen.
Well, Bill, Darlington is definitely a NASCAR tradition, but it's also been a tradition at this track for guys with a lot of experience to win. But so far this year, I've been very impressed with the rookies in the Busch Series, especially Jimmy Johnson. He's become a real contender and run up front, but he has yet to post the top 5 this year. Today, he starts 3rd. You know, it's kind of hard to think of Ron Hornaday as a rookie, but after 18 events this year, the 3-car finally returned to victory lane. Hornaday won first at Nazareth and then at IRP, and today he starts 6th. Now, keep in mind, the last 10 Busch races here at Darlington have been won from an 11th starting position or better. But today, the hottest rookie in the Busch Series, Kevin Harvick, starts all the way back in the field in 19th. Kevin dominated Bristol last week, leading 241 of 250 laps. But today, Harvick will have to race chassis number 08, the same car that won at Bristol and at St. Louis. He knows he has a good car. It's got 7 top 10s this year. But if he's able to get a top 10 today at Darlington, I think that might be one of the biggest accomplishments of his young rookie season. Kerry?
All right, guys, thank you very much. This is the 19th year for the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. Now with 8 events remaining, take a look at the points. The massive lead by Jeff Green, but just 156 points separate Jason Keller in 2nd from Ron Hornaday, the rookie, back in 5th spot. And look, a 3rd rookie in the top 10 is Jimmy Johnson. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons. Glad to have you with us. And, Benny, all year long, the Busch Series regulars have been chasing points leader Jeff Green. Today, those regulars plus Jeff Green chase another guy.
Mark Martin. He is going to be so hard to beat because he wants it so badly. This will be his last time at the Darlington Raceway in the NASCAR Busch Series. He wants to leave with a victory. And the guys know he's going to be awfully hard to beat because when I walked through the garage here this morning, I have never seen more springs, shocks, gears being changed before races than I saw this morning, all knowing to catch the 60 car, they've got to be just a little bit better.
Mark Martin not only wants to win this one, he wants to dominate it here today. This will mark the 36th time the Busch Series cars have competed at this legendary egg-shaped oval, and we've been proud to be here for every single one of them. And once again today, ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents NASCAR. One more time from the track Too Tough to Tame. It is the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division, and the Dura Lube 200 will wave the green flag when we come back.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, with that command, the field of 43 roars to life. They realize this is the toughest track they will battle on all year long. They must race the track as well as the competition as we get set for 200 miles of racing action. Our ESPN coverage of the Dura Lube 200 today being brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and ATVs. Well, let's take a look at this tough old oval. Built back in 1950. Been racing For 6 decades, 35 times the Busch cars have come here.
You see, it's a mile and 3. It's almost a mile and 3. Its front stretch is 1,229 feet, as is the back stretch. The corners are different. Bank in 1 and 2 is 25 degrees. 3 and 4, 23 degrees. And, folks, you can't believe the difference that 2 degrees will make.
All right, Benny, let's take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. On the pole for the final time in his final trip to Darlington, 26th career Busch pole for Mark Martin. Alongside him, there's the points leader, Jeff Green. What a battle they should wage today. Back in row 2, Elton Sawyer, who finished second here a couple of years ago, looking for his first win in the 2000 season. An impressive rookie driver, Jimmy Johnson. We'll tell you more about him later. Back in row 3, the older of the two Grubb brothers, Wayne Grubb, his best qualifying effort here at Darlington ever. And beside him, 15 points and a 2-time winner, Ron Hornaday. Scott Pruitt inside of row 4, an infrequent Busch start for Cal Wells. And beside him in the Ed Renzi-sponsored Lance Chevrolet is Kenny Wallace. And in row 5, another rookie driver, great run, getting better and better as the year progresses. Jay Sauter, the Quality Farm and Country Chevy, and Jason Keller, the teammate for Jeff Green.
Back in row 6, Randy LaJoy and Lyndon Amy. In row 7, Kevin LePage. Alongside him, another Winston Cup veteran, Michael Waltrip. In row 8, NASCAR Winston Cup rookie Matt Kenseth and one of his teammates in Winston Cup, Jeff Burton. In row 9, Todd Bodine and Sterling Marlin. And in row 10, that rookie Kevin Harvick and Tim Fedewa.
As you look at the rest of our starting grid, we'll tell you that 43 cars will start. There are 5 rookies in today's field, and there are 6 former Darlington winners starting this race today. Mike Wallace has won here in the Busch competition, but never won at this racetrack. Casey Atwood, that impressive performance last week at Bristol, coming in from a lap down to race past the leader of the race and come back with a top 10 finish. And, Benny, one of the big concerns among these drivers today is a brand-new tire that Goodyear has brought here to try to help wear, but it also creates a handful with the steering wheel.
They're really struggling trying to find the proper setup with this new tire.
All right, the field behind the safety car. We'll come back for the start, the green flag and the Dura Lube 200 from Darlington Raceway in just a moment. So stay with us. More from the track, too tough to tame. In Darlington, South Carolina, we are set for the green flag for the Dura Lube 200. Our race analysis today, this 18th running, shows you 147 laps, equal 200 miles. The first, just a little under $660,000. The pit window for fuel, 70 to 80 laps. And again, that is for fuel, not for tires. This place very, very abrasive to tires. And the race record of Michael Waltrip back in 1992 in this event, 138 miles per hour and change.
Onboard cameras today. We have Dick Trickle starts back in the 39th position. Mike Dillon has the Rockwell automation on board. He starts 30th today. Ward Burton substituted for Mike McLaughlin, starts back in the 22nd spot. He carries the Gould's onboard camera. Sterling Marlin in the Bell South Mobility on board. He starts 18th today. Jeff Burton has a NorthernLight.com onboard camera. Jeff will start 16th. Matt Kenseth, the Visine Chevrolet, starts in the 15th position. And Jay Sauter, the Quality Farm and Country Chevrolet, starts 9th. And on the pole, the Winn-Dixie Ford Taurus of Mark Martin.
Mark Martin has been the man to beat over the years, as we told you at the top of the show. 7 victories. He's won the last 2 in a row. He won the spring event here from the pole. He won last fall from the outside front row starting spot. There were 49 cars that came to qualify. Among those that didn't qualify, Stanton Barrett, Jason Jarrett, Mike Stefanik, Andy Kirby, Justin Labonte, and Steve Park. There are the cars that missed the field, did not qualify for this one this weekend. It will go to Richmond next Friday night and attempt to make the show up there. Glad to have you with us, getting set for 200 miles, 147 laps on this egg-shaped oval. Granddaddy of all stock car facilities only needs one name, Darlington. Although it's been given numerous names and nicknames over the years by drivers, it is one tough racetrack.
As these cars get ready for the green flag, in everyone's mind, just keep up with the 60 car. Keep him in the mirror. Keep him in the windshield. We got a chance to win. for long because this is one tight groove racetrack.
First time by, Mark Martin will come off of turn 4. After the 19th consecutive time at Darlington Raceway, Mark Martin will lead a lap.
Top 09, that's the 17 car in Kansas.
Now the Visine onboard camera for Matt Kansas watching his work traffic. Lyndon Amick on the outside. That's the PowerTail Chevrolet.
Oh, we got a Kevin Harvick now is on the inside of Kansas, takes the spot away. Battle for the 18th spot. Oh, Jim Feeder with that black and yellow car, number 36. Loose as he came off the 4th corner. There's Ward Burton in the 48 car making a move.
Ward Burton is driving the Gould's Pump Chevrolet for Mike McLaughlin, who went home to be with his father, Tom McLaughlin, who passed away at 9 o'clock last night. And certainly our condolences to Mike and the family up in Waterloo, New York, that are in their grief here today. One car slowing on the racetrack appears to be possibly Bobby Hamilton Jr. The car is slowed just a little bit. If you watch these cars battle on the inside, 77 car of Mike Wallace.
The Chatlock car, the blue car, oh, they're 3 wide as Mike Dillon, Phil Parsons, and guess what? Mark Martin has given up the lead to Jeff Green. This is probably just a Mark Martin move. These guys might be racing a little bit harder than they wanted to, so he said, I'll just back up and take it easy.
And as the word in the garage area is experience. I think that's what they use, and that means, in fact, he knows exactly how he wants to use his tires. We've seen him do this time and time again as he tries to save his tires. Here's Matt Kenseth trying to make a move.
We saw just a moment ago Harvick get by the 17 car, and now Kenseth trying to get by Harvick, but Harvick will not have anything on that. He maintains that position.
Kevin Harvick was the fastest car in happy hour yesterday for the Busch Series by far. The quickest car in the field as you ride along now. And the Gould's Pump onboard camera with Warren Burton in that 48 car, and you watch him now try to make a move inside for position.
And the 26 car is stalled on the racetrack. You talked about Bobby Hamilton Jr. being slow. Well, he's stalled on the racetrack, and they've got to throw the caution flag to get him out of harm's way.
So the first caution flag of the day will come out on lap number 5, Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s Chevrolet. And the Carroll Motorsports machine brings out the first caution. Back with more action from Darlington in just a moment.
Obviously, Mark Martin just simply moved over and let those guys go by. Elton Sawyer also moved in the second spot. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
And the reason Mark Martin moved over is that he has told his crew that his car is bad loose. He wasn't really happy with his car when it qualified, even though he pretty much whipped everybody else. He said the car was loose then and it's loose now. He's pretty certain it's this set of tires because it's the same set. He's hoping the car will come to him. We'll wait and see. Right now he's third. We'll see which way goes forward or back. We go to Ray.
Well, Bill, Bobby Hamilton Jr. came on the radio and said the engine is still running in the 26 car, but it acted like there was no compression whatsoever. He said it just wouldn't go. They asked him if it was in the transmission. He said no, definitely in the engine, so it appears they may be done for the day already here on lap 8.
Tough break for the Dave Carroll Motorsports team. By the way, I mentioned lap 4. That lead change was on lap number 4, as Mark Martin led the first 3 laps, and now our points leader Jeff Green leads. Well, RPM coming up tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern time, going to 1 hour RPM tonight. 1 hour Sunday coverage starting this weekend. NASCAR Winston Cup Darlington wrap-up, a winter interview from Darlington, and Kart FedEx Series Vancouver highlights starting this Sunday and every subsequent Sunday. 1 hour for RPM tonight for all your favorite motorsports coverage. Set for the restart.
Jeff Burton is just literally pushing the 43 car of Jay Sauter through the corner. Randy LaJoy trying to get on the inside of the 97. Meanwhile, here comes Michael Walker in that 99 car, goes by.
Michael Waltrip drove the 99 number last week at Bristol for the first time, finished 8th up there from 4 starting spots. Normally, as you know, he's driven the car number 7 with the Band-Aid sponsorship. He'll run a half a dozen races, 4 more after this one with the Aaron's colors on his car.
See Matt Kenseth, the Visine car, following Kevin Harvick. AC Delco number 2 has had so much success here the last month.
And right behind him is the 48 car, the Gould's Pump Chevrolet.
Oh, we got a spin off turn 2.
That was 99 of Michael Waltrip. One car spin. Sorry, Benny.
And the caution flag is out, and it doesn't appear as though Michael has made contact with anything but maybe another car. I think turn 2, that was turn 4.
There's a wheel mark on the right side door, right on the first 9 there. You see where the car goes by. There you see, great camera work, guys. It goes by. See that donut on the door, they call it.
Also see some flat tires. Both front tires are flat.
Michael Waltrip, the winner here back in 1992, who holds the record here. The race record, by the way. He set it in the fall of 92. Bringing out the second caution flag today with the Aaron's Chevrolet. Let's see if we can see what happened to Michael.
Well, we see, I don't know, there's Todd Bodine, the Phillips 66 car, right behind Michael, but we the camera was not there quickly enough to see if there was contact between the two cars. But nevertheless, the 99 goes in the spin cycle, and the rest of them go by. And there's where Michael had a chance to shoot back across the racetrack, but thank goodness he didn't.
Once again, this is coming out of turn 2. You see left side of your screen, Michael's car spin.
I led you astray. It's turn 4, Jerry, as he comes off the corner. There's the start-finish line. Sorry about that. Led you down the Primrose Path. And he finally has made his way to the pit road. And one more look. Well, let's go down to Bill Weber.
Ken Michaels here, and he's going to get 4 fresh tires. He definitely needs 2 for the front. They topped it off with fuel. They have to help the car up so they can get the jack underneath. That's accomplished. Left sides go on. Michael Waltrip sits in the car, revs the engine, so he's got fresh tires, a full load of fuel, and he heads back out.
And he did not lose a lap, so after those fresh tires put on. And we are continuing under caution here for the second time today. The first one coming out on lap number 5, Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s car stalling. And this one on lap 13 for a spin by Michael Waltrip. Jeff Green, the points leader, is our race leader here at Darlington. Very Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap bringing you live Busch action. Take a look at the drought. Guys who have not led a lap in 2000. Bobby Hamilton Jr., who's already had to park it today. Mike McLaughlin, who's away from this event. Elton Sawyer, Mark Green, and Jimmy Johnson, the impressive rookie driver who was 10th in points and had those 2 great 6th-place finishes at South Boston and Michigan. You want more information about the NASCAR Busch Series, Winston Cup, or your favorite NASCAR touring series? Well, log on to NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com. More information real-time about what's happening at the racetrack and about your favorite driver in whatever series of NASCAR. NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com. Getting set for the green flag. After the second caution flag today, threatening clouds in the distance. There has been a threat of rain showers in the area all weekend. We are going to restart here on lap 16. Making a move very quickly now on the inside.
And also Ron Hornaday goes by the Elton Sawyer car. Moves into the 3rd spot.
You heard Bill Weber report that Martin thought these tires were not a good set. They were very loose. Here comes Sawyer back by Hornaday. For 3rd position, and Hornaday.
Car right with you. Looking inside. Nobody with it.
Now, battle for the lead is Mark Martin, because I think I'll go up if I can't get away from these guys.
And they were 4 wide a moment ago. Down the front straightaway, Kevin LePage a part of that. Matt Kenseth was a part of that. So was Todd Bodine. And Ward Burton driving the 48 car as they are all racing for position. That's Scott Pruitt in the McDonald's car number 97 leading this group. He's in 14th, but it's 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And now LePage in the Redman Chevrolet, Redman Ford Taurus will try to take the 14th spot away.
And see Kevin Harvick going by Randy LaJoy, taking the spot away as he continues on his way towards the front, right along with Ward Burton. And Scott Pruitt hung up on the outside, had to jump out of the throttle. I thought that Ward was going to run the back of him.
Kyle Petty coming into your picture, the Sprint Chevrolet. You're right along now with Kenseth inside of Ward Burton. That is for position. That's for the 17th spot. Meanwhile, back up front, guys they're chasing right now is Mark Martin in the Winn-Dixie Ford Taurus.
But Jeff Burton has taken that NorthernLight.com, that number 9 car, and moved into the 4th position. I'm sorry, 5th position. Started back in, that was right against 4th. Started in 16th anyway.
Our Circuit City telemetry riding along with Jeff Burton, the NorthernLight.com Ford. You see the speed, just a little touch of the brake there for Jeff Burton as we check in his pits with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, kind of an interesting fact here. Jeff Burton and Mark Martin talked to each other during the Winston Cup race quite a bit just by flipping over onto a different radio channel. Well, Jeff Burton said, "Where's Mark at? I can't find him today." They're using different radios in the Busch Series, so they're not able to talk directly to each other. So they'll go through Buddy Parrott today to relay how their cars are handling back and forth. As you heard Bill say, Mark's car's a little bit loose. So is Jeff. We'll make a track bar adjustment on the first pit stop, guys.
All right, Jeff Burton actually led the most laps in the spring race here, although he faded in the final few laps and finished third as Martin and Kenseth both went by him in the final circuit. Our Circuit City telemetry showing you pretty good speed here early on, but the tires are still fairly fresh.
And you can see just how much brake that Jeff Burton used going in the third corner. I talked about it's difficult to believe. You see there, he uses about 3/4 of the brake pedal. Going in turn 1, this is banked 25 degrees. Now he comes off turn 2 down the backstretch into the turn that's banked 23 degrees. And I think he probably used more brake. There about 7/8 of the bar went across in red.
Pretty good move for the car 0-1 of Sterling Marlin, who started back in 18th position, now being shown in the 8th spot. Or Sterling won earlier this year in Bristol, Tennessee, back at the spring race in March. Finished 6th there last Friday night in the Busch Series. After starting 6th, he finished 6th.
Now, Hornaday, the 3, the Napa car, get in a challenge and get him passed by Jason Keller in 57.
Hornaday trying to pull that patented Earnhardt move. Of course, he drives for Dale Earnhardt. DEI is the owner of this car, the Napa Chevrolet. You see now Jason Keller has gone by him and begins to pull away. There have been some scattered reports, Benny, of some droplets of water, possibly some little bit of rain. We'll take a look at the windshield and the roof camera, the onboard camera for Jeff Burton. Thus far, we don't see anything on the lens.
By the start-finish line, still did not see any drops. And Kenny Wallace saw that 01 car Sterling Marlin coming, said he's faster than I am, so he just moved over and let him go by. There I see a raindrop down in turns 1 and 2 on that camera lens.
Riding along with Sterling Marlin. Back in the 7th position, and Jeff Green has gone back by Mark Martin. That's quick. Chevrolet goes by the Winn-Dixie Ford. We told you it would be somewhat of a shootout today, somewhat of a showdown. Jeff Green has won 5 times this year in Busch competition, 6 poles. He's the points leader. And Martin has been the dominant guy here at Darlington. Once again, Marlin is on the move.
He is definitely on the move. Moves him into the 6th position. Bill, Hornaday seems to be slipping back. What are they saying in the pit?
Yeah, he just called in about 2 laps ago, Benny, and said that the car is very, very tight off the turn. So he's fallen back to 7th. Is in danger of losing sight of the leaders with a very tight race car. Meanwhile, Green and Mark Martin both say their cars are loose, and they will get an adjustment when they pit.
Now Well, we'll show you a moment ago what happened when Jeff Green actually was able to reel in Mark Martin. And remember, early on, Bill Weber reported that Martin's car got a little bit loose. Mark just pulls over and lets Jeff go.
He just let him go because he realized he was running as fast as he wanted to run, and Jeff Green was still back there.
We are still in the early laps. 26 to be exact are complete. Jeff Green is our leader. Arlington, South Carolina. They're the lead twosome. Our points leader, Jeff Green, in the bright yellow Chevrolet. The Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin. There is Jeff Burton, who is rapidly coming. He's in third position. He's just about 2 1/4 seconds back in third spot. See, he started back in 16th position, but typically it's a Jeff Burton kind of day where he starts toward the back and makes his way to the front.
Yes, and I tell you what, as high as he was running down in turns 3 and 4, I don't know if this racetrack is going to be wide enough before the day is over. Hornaday back in 7th position now in the Napa Chevrolet. And Kevin Harvick has moved up to the 9th position. We talked about Harvick starting back in the 19th spot. We talked about how good his car was running in happy hour yesterday.
And last week you heard Ray Dunlap mention in the open of the show he led 241 of 250 laps at Bristol. And folks, that's about as dominant as you can be.
He was definitely the car. There we're talking about the AC Delco number 2.
Remember, Michael Waltrip had the second caution flag come out on lap 13 in the car number 99. He has worked his way back all the way up to 24th position.
And he restarted the race in about 41st, 42nd spot, but he did stop. He changed 4 tires, and after 2 or 3 laps, it's amazing how much faster these tires are. There's a huge group of cars. It's Phil Parsons and 18 of Jason Leffler side by side. There's Ashton Lewis in 46 and Ricky Hendrick in the 24 car.
These cars dicing it up back in 21st to about 31st position toward the back of the field.
There's Mike Wallace, the Lear, number 77, going by Lyndon Amick, and Kevin Grubb, the green and blue car.
Mike Wallace in 29th spot. Kevin Grubb in the 30th spot.
Little contact there, a little shot in the bumper, but Grubb did not lose control as Jason Leffler now on the inside of the 35 of.
And here goes the 2, Benny, by the 25. They've been dicing it back and forth, and here goes Jeff Burton by his teammate Mark Martin for second position.
Looks like Mark would really love to get those tires off, but they simply have got to wait until some cars, other cars will be making pit stops with them. Right now, just too much track position will be given up.
Now we are showing 32 laps in the books. If you're wondering about the weather, it's been threatening. This is a 147-lap race. Halfway would be 74 laps. Halfway plus 1 is 75 laps to make it a complete race. And thus far, all we've had is just a bit of a sprinkle, but no other rain, and that's certainly good news in the area. Jeff Green continuing to lead. There is Jeff Burton behind him, and then Mark Martin. We told you about this impressive rookie crop this year, including Hornaday and Harvick, and there they are, side by side.
And Harvick comes down the front stretch, gets on the inside of Hornaday, takes the spot away. You know what the crew guys call Kevin Harvick, Jerry?
What's that?
Happy.
Happy.
I said, why do they call you happy? He said, because I'm happy all the time. Life is grand. When you have a race car that runs as well as this one, he said, I smile a lot, so they started calling me happy.
Well, 2 poles and 2 wins for him, and of course 2 wins for Hornaday, so we got 2 rookies, 4 wins between them. That's not a bad effort.
I'm sorry, Jerry.
Go ahead, BP. Jay Sauter back in currently in 11th spot.
Now, the Rosketeers go by Jeff Green. Now, I see a little bit of moisture on the camera lens. Once again, it looks like Jeff Green said Jeff Burton was coming, so all I can do is just move over and let these guys go. This racetrack, this groove of the speedway is very, very tight, very narrow. And when you try to race through here side-by-side at speed, it becomes almost impossible to do.
You know what, Benny? From listening to you and our good buddy Ned Jarrett all these years, I've learned 2 words about what happens in races here, and those 2 words are tire management.
Yeah, got to try to save the tires. Oh, and we see the 36 rear bumper get almost knocked off by the 33 of Tony Raines. And something is up with the 36 car. He is very, very slow.
Well, it happened coming out of 4 a minute ago, Benny, for Tim Fedewa in the Stanley Chevrolet. Look at that rear bumper cover just barely hanging on as Fedewa was slowing on the inside. But the actual contact was probably occurred about a lap ago as he was exiting turn 4. There's Fedewa now as you watch Scott Pruitt and Jeff Purvis try to go by. Here it is just a moment ago.
There we see him coming off the corner as Michael Waltrip goes by. Almost some contact there. Oh, he gets turned sideways and he gets in the outside retaining wall. That's why he's so slow, because he's made contact with the wall and he's bent the suspension in the front of the car.
That certainly would explain it, and now he certainly has a handful of race car to hang on to. As we are 37 laps into this one, and Tim Fedewa, the Busch Series regular, trying to hold on. Fedewa 15th in the point standings with just 8 events remaining in this year's season. Well, Jeff Burton, who led the most laps in the spring here, ended up fading to finish third from the outside front row. He is being shown as our leader in the NorthernLight.com Ford Taurus. Behind him, Mark Martin, Jeff Green, Elton Sawyer, and Jason Keller in the top 5 as 38 laps are complete. Normally, some of these guys are trying to bide their time and save their tires, but because of some raindrops we've seen early on, maybe the pace is a little quicker than we normally would anticipate.
I think that Jeff Burton is kind of dictating his pace right now, because he started way back in the field. He's worked his way to the front, and now these guys either got to keep up or worry about running second spot, and no one wants to run second, especially that guy we're looking out the back bumper of Jeff Burton's car, Mark Martin.
If you just joined us, this is Mark Martin's final trip here in a Busch car to Darlington Raceway. As you watch these two drivers battle for position, that's Jay Sauter, the Quality Farm and Country Chevrolet, looking back at the front of the Visine Chevy.
See Kenny Wallace trying to get by the 3 car of Hornaday, and he does. And here comes Ward Burton, that Gould's car, going by. These guys are back in 7th, 8th. Hornaday is now 9th. And Jimmy Johnson still hanging on in that Alltel car. This good run by the rookie here this afternoon.
Well, I'd mention, if you just joined us, that is Ward Burton driving for Mike McLaughlin. Mike had gone home. Mike's father, Tom, passed away last night in Waterloo, New York. And certainly we send along our best regards and our deepest sympathies and prayers to the McLaughlin family in this, their time of sorrow. Mike is not in the car this weekend. Ward has stepped in to drive the 48 machine here at Darlington. Been 3 leaders thus far today at Darlington. Jeff Green led 22 laps. He's led the most. Mark Martin led from the beginning and led 12 laps. And now Jeff Burton has taken over and led the last 8 consecutive circuits.
Oh, there we go. Jimmy Johnson, the 92 Alltel car, gets on the inside of Hornaday. Jay Sauter is trying to follow, and Sauter fortunately backs up just enough not to let that racetrack throw him up in the side of the 3 car.
Bumper camera on Jay Sauter's car, qualified 9th. Now looking from the backside on the Visine roof camera up at Jay Sauter's rookie machine, the yellow bumper. Sauter's had a number of good runs this year, including an impressive performance, a top 5 finish to open the year at Daytona.
Ward Burton, the 48 car, won the NASCAR Winston Cup race here in the spring. So he knows how to get around this racetrack very, very well. Also, Kenny Wallace, a NASCAR Winston Cup driver, many laps at Darlington. But as they battle each other, come on, turn 4. This battle is going on 10, 13 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton.
All right, Mark Green in the Superflow Chevrolet for Hubert and Jeff Hensley. The crew now will go to work on the left side of that car.
He just hit it. Jeff Burton just lapped him a moment ago. So as soon as he lost that lap, he said, what the heck, I'll go in, get some fresh tires and hope I can make up some ground. And the caution flag doesn't come out before the leaders have to pit.
Right along there with Matt Kenseth, his pretty good record here. And one of the drivers who had a good run in the spring gets up and that's the Team Marines car, Rick Rathman's Team Marines Chevrolet for Hank Parker, who had started and finished 6th back in the spring. Gets him a Darlington stripe there just coming off the corner.
You go up and brush that wall, and the concrete makes a mark down the side. That's affectionately, or I guess affectionately called the Darlington stripe. And you see, as I said earlier, I don't know if this racetrack is going to be wide enough when the race is over. A lot of these cars are going to have that Darlington stripe.
Casey Atwood in the car number 27 in a side-by-side battle with the car number 82. They are racing for position. That, of course, is Ted Musgrave, the Franklin, Wisconsin driver, driving the channel lock machine, and Ted will make the pass.
And Tony Raines as well goes by Casey Atwood, so now Casey's struggling in that Castrol car back to 24th.
A moment ago, right in front of Kyle Petty. Watch the 1 and the 20 car.
And we see the 20 car, once again, when you go in turn 1 and hit the apron of the racetrack, it shoots you up the hill. Because car on the outside, you're going to make contact if you aren't careful. You see LaJoy is now called Ron Hornaday. And Kyle Petty on the inside of the 43 of Jay Sauter.
Good run for Kyle Petty. As of this weekend, Kyle officially becomes a full-time Busch Series Grand National driver for the first time in his career. He will step out of the Winston Cup car as of last weekend. Steve Grissom takes over the car 44 and the truck, NASCAR Craftsman truck, and Kyle will concentrate totally on this Busch Series effort and the Sprint Chevrolet. And a pretty good run thus far for Kyle.
And Blaney, that 20 car, the AT&T car, goes on the inside of the 43, takes the spot away from Sauter, and here comes Kevin LePage. Trying to go on the inside and take a corner away, and just somehow squeezes right in between cars.
Great action all around this racetrack. As you see, Hornaday now peels off, and whoa, trying to get the pit road, and he spins it around. Ron Hornaday,
we see, Jerry, he just about missed pit road is his problem. He realized once he got down there that he had to stop more quickly than he thought, and he simply spun the car out trying to stop. You see, just this happened a couple of laps ago as Hornaday, he goes up and hits the wall. That's what's going on. He brushed the wall, so he goes in to make sure that the tires aren't flat on that Napa Chevrolet.
Lap 50, there's the right side damage. He's headed down to Bill Weber at 45 miles an hour. Bill, headed to you.
Well, he had real high hopes. Obviously, his car was going backwards. We talked about how it was tight. Finally, it was very tight. Then they decided to bring him in. A lot of guys already asking for tires, but some are going to go considerably longer than this before they come in and get him. It takes a while for the jack to get around to the left side. All the fuel's in. He'll get the left side tires, and Hornaday's lost a lot of track position, but he's got 4 tires and heads back out there.
Now, a tough break for Ron Hornaday. Came from 25th to 8th here in the spring, and, of course, he was 5th in the point standings coming in. We told you how tight the top 5 were in points, at least 2nd through 5th. As you watch the car number 9, who is our leader? Jeff Burton moving in on Blaze Alexander's car number 81.
And what's happened, Jerry, as these cars, Jeff Burton and the leaders have started catching these cars that they're trying to put a lap down, they're slowing them down so much that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th have all joined in for this race.
We are just under 20 laps, or over 20 laps away from halfway here in the Dura Lube 200. Jeff Burton is our leader. Back in just a moment. Carolina, the Dura Lube 200, and our leader is Jeff Burton, and Kevin Grubb is in the pits.
These guys have been out there about 50, a little over 50 laps now, and all of a sudden it is getting very, very slippery out there. Trying to keep the car between the ditches or the outside wall and the inside wall is becoming a struggle. They change 4 tires, go out there and let the driver feel a little more comfortable.
Timberwolf sponsored car, Harry Shirley and company giving him some quick service, and now the Clarence Brewer-owned car heads back onto the racetrack. Our leader is the NorthernLight.com Ford Taurus of Jeff Burton. The car right in front of him, the 81 car, is Blaze Alexander. He is the last car on the lead lap in 38th position.
And here's Blaze Alexander trying to get by Dick Trickle, and goes by Trickle now. The leader, Jeff Burton, has been following Blaze Alexander for probably 5 or 6 laps, and here comes Martin trying to take that lead away and does.
Well, Mark Martin will take the lead as Jeff Burton has trouble working some of the lap traffic. On lap 57, we have another lead change. They slide by Dick Trickle, Snyder Trucking Chevrolet.
And we see Sterling Marlin back there has moved into that 5th position.
There is Sterling, the Bell South Mobility Ericsson roof camera. He is driving the 01 car, and again, if you just joined us, Sterling started back in 18th spot as they go by Dick Trickle in the car number 5. That University of Tennessee orange-colored 01. That's the orange paint job on the side of Sterling. As you take a look at another car coming down pit road, that is Scott Pruitt headed to Hugo Ever.
And I'll tell you what, it is a long trip down pit road. Scott Pruitt all the way down near turn 1, makes the long trip at 45 miles an hour, now pulls in, having a good ride in a comfortable car. There's a good tune-up for him. Right side tires going on. They will make a chassis adjustment. Fuel is in. Come around to the left side. They make the wedge adjustment. And they're going to make another adjustment as well. Track bar and wedge for Scott Pruitt. Left side's going on. They're going to take a while here to get the left rear on. Had a problem back there. That slows them up. So Pruitt now goes back out, but a long stop for the 97 bunch.
23.8 seconds for Scott Pruitt. And the leader beginning to work some more and more traffic. There again is Blaze Alexander, who Jeff Burton had trouble getting by. Of course, Blaze running pretty well. It's not because he's not running well. He doesn't want to pull over and let him by.
Well, that's right, because as soon as the 60 car goes by him and the caution flag should come out, he'll be a mile and 3/8 behind. If right now the caution flag were to come out, he'd be able to, all these cars, be able to go around to the end of the line and gain a mile and 3/8. So it's very important to try to stay there if he can. But meanwhile, Mark Martin's trying to make a move.
Oh, go by the Ashton Lewis Jr. car. Now Martin is trying to hold the inside, but watch the 9 car. The second place car, will he pull up to the outside? No, he'll follow Mark beneath Blaze Alexander if Mark can get by.
We'll see Jeff Burton using all the brakes he had that time. Earlier we'd seen on our Circuit City telemetry, he'd been using about 3/4 of a brake pedal. Now, he's using about all he has trying to get into the corner.
Now Martin and Burton go by. Jeff Green will be able to make it by. As here comes Wayne Grubb, the Link Belt Chevrolet down pit road for his scheduled stop on lap number 61.
83 car had a great qualifying run, started 5th.
Chassis adjustment on the right side there for Wayne Grubb. 1 pole in NASCAR Busch competition coming at Richmond back in 1998. And has yet to get his first win, but a very talented young driver from Mechanicsville, Virginia. He's 2 years older than his younger brother, Kevin. Ashton Lewis's car coming out as well, and then there is Wayne Grubb exiting the pits.
Now Hornaday there, we see the Napa Chevrolet on pressure tires as he comes up and passes the 9 car. And Hank Parker Jr. is now a lap down, and the Team Marines are looking Hornaday with those fresh tires. Look at this, how he just blows by the competition. And look at that, Sterling Marlin has moved into the 3rd position.
The 60 is your leader. That is Martin. 53 car, the Rick Rasmussen Team Marines car, as Vinny said a moment ago, now being shown a lap down in 33rd position. The 9 car, the second place car, right on the 9's back bumper is the 01 of Sterling Marlin. There goes the 9 on the 01.
Comes 01 car started in 18th position. Jeff Purvis on pit road, changing 4 tires in the Porter Cable car.
Again, we are seeing green flag pit stop there. Sterling Marlin last lap, 145 plus miles per hour. He started back in 18th position. Now these cars run in on the leader. Mark Martin, the car number 60. We have run 65 laps, and the leaders have yet to pit. At the top of our show, you saw the fuel window was close to 75 to 80 laps. You got to wonder if these guys are going to run a full fuel stop. Apparently, Benny didn't come in for tires.
It looks like they're going to try to do that, Jerry, and they're going to try to make it on one stop as we see Sterling Marlin down to the bottom of the racetrack and take that second spot away from Jeff Burton. Go, Sterling, go.
All those Tennessee Vol fans who know that Sterling Marlin loves the Vols and puts that orange color on his car when he can, they got to be standing and cheering now. Watch Sterling go for the lead. Here on lap 66 from 18th starting spot, Sterling Marlin from Columbia, Tennessee, is the leader.
Oh, man, they're dancing. They're all over the racetrack, but they can't stop unless the other guy does.
When we come back, we'll cover green flag pit stops from Darlington Raceway in just a moment. Back at Darlington Raceway, we are hearing that pit stops could happen anytime, possibly for the car number 9. Tommy Morgan may be calling Jeff Burton in for his first. Here comes the 01 of Marlin, who was the leader.
And can he make pit road? Oh, yes, he did. You got to get down and you got to slow down. Can't get caught speeding. There's a 45-mile-per-hour speed limit down pit road.
Sterling Marlin, 2 times a winner in Busch competition, including Bristol, Tennessee in March of this year. Heads down to Tony Glover and company. Down to Ray Dunlap. Ray?
Well, Jerry, Jeff Lemon's calling the crew today here, and they said we are not going to make any chassis changes on this 01. Tommy Morgan just came on to the 9 car and told Jeff Burton, hold on a couple more laps, let the 01 get out of our way, because they're pitted 1 stall right behind. 4 tires and gas here for the Bell South car. Sterling Marlin says the car running great. They're down and away. Expect Jeff Burton in 1 or 2 more laps.
All right, 17.8 seconds. The 55 car.
Oh, no. Sterling Marlin, if the caution flag comes out of it, he's moving. Michael Rich, the 55, looks like he was trying to make a pit stop, spun, the car stalled, but fortunately for Sterling Marlin, he was able to get his car going again.
And no caution flag. Here comes the car number 9, the NorthernLight.com cars. You heard Ray say a moment ago, Tommy Morgan and company. There's a little bit of sheet metal damage on that left front, looks like headlight area. He comes down pit road very, very slowly or deliberately at 45 miles an hour for his first and possibly only pit stop of the day. Ray?
Well, Jerry, they're going to make an air pressure adjustment here. They're going down 1 pound on both rear tires, and we also see there will be a change here as they're going to make a change on the track bar. There goes 1 round down on the track bar, coming around for a 4-tire stop here for the Northern Light car. Mark Martin expected down pit road this time, too. Jeff Burton gets a drink, and he is done with his pit stop. 60 on his way.
Mark Martin also coming down pit road to Tony Lambert and company, the Winn-Dixie crew. Here comes the 60 car, who was our pole sitter. Remember, making his final ever Busch Series visit to Darlington. There is the 48 of Ward Burton behind him. Let's go back down to Ray.
Getting to Mark Martin's pit here all the way down, and Mark is in. They don't expect to make a chassis change here. Yes, they do. They have already decided they will go to the track bar here. Same change, 3, 4, 5 rounds down on the track bar, so a pretty loose race car for Mark Martin. 4 tires, and now we go to Bill Weber.
Jeff Green has right side tires. They did make a wedge adjustment to try and tighten him up when he's been loose through this portion of the race. Martin will go by his right side. Green has 4 tires, and on the hood of that car, the decal, the Nesquik decal, is starting to peel off. Back to Ray.
Oh, Bill, if you can see the 92 car here, they are very close to the wall. Jimmy got the car too close, so it was tough for him to jack up the car. They did make a track bar adjustment, but that slowed him down a bit as he got a little bit too close to the wall.
That, of course, Jimmy Johnson hitting in the Alltel Chevrolet. They are looking for sponsorship for next year, and this impressive rookie. Here's the car number 2, Harvick, getting his service on and off pit road from the crew down there in the Richard Childress pits. Yeah, and these are green flag stops. Here's Elton Sawyer, the Lysol Ford, coming down pit road. The car number 98, headed to you, Bill Weber.
And right behind him will be the 57 of Jason Keller. Sawyer has had a good run here so far. In fact, he told me on the grid before the race, this is the best car that he's ever had here at Darlington. Was strong and happy hour. Knew he had to beat the 60 and the 10. He stalls it, refires it. They slide the jack underneath, put the left side tires on. The 57 still working behind him. Muster on, Sawyer's away. A little longer stop for Keller. He follows him out. Lots of traffic.
And Bill, with that exchange of pit stops, Elton Sawyer will be credited with leading 2 laps. The first 2 laps he has led in the year 2000. So obviously a very, very good race car for that team. Ricky Byers and them making a pit stop for Sawyer just a moment ago.
The 99 car, Michael Waltrip, is now the leader. Now he looks like he's going to make his entrance on the pit road.
Must have a radio problem of some sort. He was waving as he came by. Notice the front end damage. Michael spun on lap 13 to bring out the second caution flag of the day. And now Ronnie Silver and company will be ready to pit Michael Waltrip, who won this race in the fall of 1992 and set the race record back then. Now bringing the car down pit road. A little bit of sheet metal damage on the right side, on the left side. Let's go back down to Ray.
Well, you were exactly right, Jerry. It is a radio problem, and that's why Michael was trying to communicate that he was coming in here. They go to the right side, and they're trying to work on this sheet metal problem up on the left front. Fuel goes in. They go to the second can here, and you see they're going to put a big patch on the left front, a big aerodynamic problem for the 99 here. Fairly long pit stop on that left front, but that may make this car a little bit better.
Okay, Ray, thank you. It looks like a flag they put on the front of the car, the tape. Now we'll show you what happened to Michael Waltrip earlier today. Actually, he brought out the second caution flag today off of turn number 4.
He comes around, he spins around, goes across the start-finish line, and the caution flag waved, so he was able to make those 4 tires change and not lose anything.
All right, with that exchange of pit stops, this car has yet to pit. That is Lyndon Amick in the Mitsubishi Team Amick, car number 35, who is being shown as our leader here in the Dura Lube 200 at Darlington. Here's the battle up front, Vinny.
Sterling Marlin, the 0-1 car, after the pit stops, the leader. And the 9 car, Jeff Burton, right on his back bumper. Mark Martin is currently 3rd, but he's a little less than 5 seconds behind these 2 cars.
Oh, by Jeff Burton, trying to get up and just up right on the back of that Bell South Mobility car. You take a look at our Circuit City onboard telemetry for Sterling Marlin. They have just pitted just a few laps ago, and we've seen some speeds earlier around right 100 and a little over 160 miles an hour.
And Jeff Burton gets on to the inside of Sterling and takes the lead.
Now, a moment ago, Amick was the leader. Now he's in the pits, however.
And this is his first stop of the race. They're trying to take a rubber out of the right rear, so this stop will take a little longer. He has heavy damage on the left side of the car. He picked that up very early in the race, but did it on tires and fuel to this point. Obviously, a one-stop attempt for them, pulling the sheet metal away, waiting on the left rear. Now it's tight, and Lyndon Amick returns to the race.
All right, good pit stop for Larry Pearson and company with some damage on the left side of Lyndon Amick's car. They get it serviced and back out. Our leader is Jeff Burton, the car number 9. The 01 is Sterling Marlin in 2nd spot. The 60 of Martin is 3rd, and then Jeff Green is 4th.
And you see now the car is going into a shady spot. The sun, there's some clouds around. Once in a while, the sun peeks behind those clouds, and when it does, the racetrack becomes very shady, very dark, and then he'll drive into the sun.
There is Jeff Burton, our leader, a 2-time winner this year. He won at Las Vegas and at Charlotte, Lowe's Motor Speedway. There is the 60 car, back in 3rd position, Mark Martin. Remember, Ray Dunlap counted, what, how many rounds they put in that car?
4 or 5 rounds they went down on the rear sway bar trying to tighten this Winn-Dixie Ford up. The problem he's got right now, he's got heavy traffic. He's got a 4-second deficit and a lot of cars between himself and even the second place car, Sterling Marlin.
Now from the bumper cam of the Quality Farm and Country Chevy of Jay Sauter, you see that is 4th position. Actually, Sauter now being shown a lap down in 23rd spot. From our Morton Salt roof camera, looking up at the Winn-Dixie car going by. Showing 18 cars on the lead lap. The 71, the Red Man Chevy of, or Ford of Kevin LePage, rather, is the last car.
And that 36 car, Jeff Burton caught it coming off turn 2 last time, and it's had to slow dramatically. Mark Martin, the last time by, was 3.91 seconds behind. This time when he went by, Mark Martin was 2.9 seconds behind. So he lost 1 second to Mark Martin. Never see the interval between the leader, Jeff Burton, and Sterling Marlin. I'm sorry, Mark Martin in third.
Now some traffic for Mark Martin, as you said a moment ago, trying to get the inside of Todd Bodine, who's battling with Tony Raines. Martin turns it hard left, and the car sticks thus far as he heads down the straightaway.
But he's not able to use the racetrack the way that he would like to, so it is... See, that time, he was 3 1/4 seconds behind the leader, so he lost a third of a second that time just trying to work his way through the traffic. Talking about Mark Martin. Oh, Ashton Lewis at 46 almost catches the wall on turn 2.
That further slows up Mark Martin's progression to try to reel in the leader, Jeff Burton. Burton is the leader, Marlin in second spot. Martin is third. There is the fourth place car of Jeff Green, the Nesquik Chevrolet. Right behind Jason Leffler's car number 18. Jason being shown in 26th position, a lap down with the Joe Gibbs on Pontiac.
See Kevin Harvick, the 2 car, just getting by the 53 of Hank Parker Jr. 2 cars in 6th spot. Here's Ward Burke, the 7th place car in 48. The 27 car, a lap down. Ward, don't hit the wall. Boy, that's close.
Here's the Rockwell Automation roof camera. A new paint job this week, and a young lady, a 10-year-old Chevelle Griffin out of Asheville, North Carolina, won the contest for the design of the paint job on this car, the Rockwell Automation car of Mike Dillon. And what did she win, Benny? She won a trip for 4 down to this race today to meet Mike Dillon and Richard Childress to spend the weekend here at Darlington Raceway. So congratulations to Chevelle Griffin on that great-looking paint job on the 21 car.
And we see the 9 car now in some traffic, and the 01 car, Sterling Marlin, they get by Jimmy Johnson, putting them a lap down. There's Mark Green, the 63. Johnson says, now, how do these guys do? Let me follow these guys and see if I can figure out how they get around this racetrack so well.
Once again, Sterling Marlin, Bell South Mobility, Erickson Chevrolet, the Felix Sabatos owned Busch Series car, the 01 numbered car. Being shown in second position. Here is Lyndon Amick, who was the last of the lead cars to make a pit stop.
And we see Ron Hornaday down on the apron of the racetrack. Looks like he's coming on the pit road. This would be an unscheduled pit stop for Ron Hornaday. And we see where he's made contact with the wall, but I believe, I don't know if I think he hit the wall earlier, and hopefully that's where he came from, and he hasn't hit the wall again.
Okay, we'll show you just the laps earlier that Hornaday did have some contact with the outside concrete. Lap 49, this is where the impact was as Jay Sauter came by. And on lap 50, he was trying to get on the pit road, Benny, and jumped on the brakes.
And spun out. And the right side doesn't look any worse now than it did then. Bill Weber?
Well, this is out of sequence, but it looks routine to this point. Right side tires, left side tires, no chassis adjustment, fuel goes in. And Hornaday's got 4 tires. I have a feeling it's a battle between Ron Hornaday and the tractor at Darlington today. A learning experience for a guy who is still a Busch Series rookie.
All right, Hornaday makes his pit stop. Speaking of rookies, here goes Kevin Harvick as he races side by side with the veteran Elton Sawyer, and that is for the 5th position.
Elton Sawyer run across the 97 car. Scott Pruitt off turn 2. Slowed his progress just a little bit. Kevin Harvick dove on the inside, trying to take it away. Ray Dunlap, you have something on the 2 car?
Well, Benny, on that last round of pit stops, you saw how many... Oh, we have 1 car in the wall.
That was Kevin Harvick. Apparently, Kevin slid up across the racetrack. May have gotten a little bit of a tap from behind by the 98 car, and Harvick's car got loose, bounced off the concrete, and he jumped back in the throttle. Back down to you, Ray.
Well, and Jerry, what I was about to tell you was that last set of tires they put on, they didn't make any chassis changes at all, but Kevin has been saying loose, 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 and that's pretty apparent as he's made contact now with the wall. The car is just way, way too loose.
Benny, he may have got a little help, although he might have been loose. I think it might have been a little bit of a tap. Let's take a look here.
Right here, we see him on the inside, the 2 car, the AC Delco car. Right there, we're going to see the contact. Just as he tried to come across the racetrack, there was contact between himself and the 98. And there we see the 2 car up bouncing off the wall.
Yeah, there's the just enough of a nudge, but his car was sliding up across the racetrack, but he was very, very loose, so I'm not so sure if Elton had much choice. Let's see from the 48 roof camera.
I think the left front on the 98 touched the right rear on the 2, which started him sliding up the racetrack. That's what I think. Might not be, but...
So Kevin Harvick has not pitted, is none the worse for wear, but the caution does come out. And there may be some debris on the racetrack from some of that impact with the concrete, so the caution now being waved by Matt Abernathy for the 3rd time today here on lap number 95. Now, 45 and 71 cars, Benny, get a break.
Yeah, because they were just about to go a lap down. The caution flag came out.
Well, 3rd caution flag today due to debris on the racetrack. Burton, Marlin, Martin, Green, and Sawyer the top 5. We are back at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. Under caution for the 3rd time today, coming out on lap number 95 for debris on the racetrack. Lead cars make their way down pit road at 45 miles an hour. They have made 1 stop under the green. They make this stop under the caution. Let's go down to the pits and Ray Dunlap.
Well, the 9 car is in, and Jeff Burton has told Tommy Morgan he would like to tighten this car up, but he knows what always happens at Darlington. This track always gets tighter. So a very slight air pressure change will go down a ½ pound on the right rear. The 01 is also in a Sterling Marlin, and they're not going to make any changes to this car. The 60 of Mark Martin has come down. 4 tires for Mark Martin. No changes. Jeff Burton down the way. Sterling Marlin back out. It'll be a race to the line. Now to Bill Weber.
They made an air pressure adjustment on the right rear for Jeff Green to try and tighten him up a little bit. The 9 and the 60 are off of pit road. The 98 gets around the 10. He's still sitting here, and now he's away.
Man, a great pit stop for the 98. Elton Sawyer's crew, Ricky Byers, and his guys. A great pit stop. Moved him from 5th spot up to the 3rd position, I think.
That's why those guys practice so much in the afternoons down there. Great effort by the 98 team for Ricky Byers and company, for Elton Sawyer, and the Brad Akins Motorsports efforts. As we are working caution for the 3rd time today, the caution flag coming out for debris on the racetrack here at Darlington Raceway. Back with the green flag in a moment. After scoring his 2nd win of the season 2 weeks ago, Canadian Paul Tracy heads home for the Molson Indy Vancouver. Tracy will battle with point leader Michael Andretti, who captured a victory north of the border earlier this season on the streets of Toronto. These 2 aggressive and fierce competitors will face off live Sunday at 4 Eastern on ABC Sports. Juan Montoya is the defending champion of the Molson Indy Vancouver. That's 4 Eastern time on ABC tomorrow. For more, log on to ESPN.com. We are set for the restart after the 3rd caution flag today and pit stops. Our top 5 is Jeff Burton with Mark Martin in 2nd spot. Elton Sawyer, that great pit stop, puts him 3rd. Sterling Marlin is 4th, and Jeff Green is 5th.
And the flagman has a flag right.
Lap 100. We are 47 away from the checkered flag, and a threat of rain has been in the area all day, and the weather forecast was for intermittent showers, but the sun has come out over Darlington Raceway. Couple of Roush teammates, or Roush-keteers, as Benny calls them, have pulled away in Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. From the car number 98 of Elton Sawyer. Back in 3rd spot, there's Sawyer flashing by. Marlin, Jeff Green, then Kevin Harvick is in 6th position.
I'll tell you what, this is a very tense time on a restart when these cars are side by side as they try to go through these corners side by side.
Your flagman, Matt Abernathy, you keep a firm grip on that yellow flag with this kind of group here at Darlington. That close together. Speaking of close together, Mark Martin and about a car length and a half back behind his teammate Jeff Burton, but not by design.
I'm wondering what's going through Mark's mind right now. Does he feel like that he needs to get in front of Jeff while the tires are still fairly fresh and he can make a good run, or does he need to wait till the tires wear? It looks like he's decided that he wants to get up, put some pressure on Jeff Burton right now and try to take the lead as quick as he can.
Remember, in the pit stops a moment ago, you heard Ray Dunlap say that Tommy Morgan and the crew had thought about tightening the car up. Jeff said the car had been loose, but they were afraid to tighten up because this track gets typically tighter and tighter as the race progresses. You wonder if Mark may be getting up there trying to get his teammate a little bit loose and make the pass.
He could very well be doing that because, oh, Mark almost runs in the wall off turn 2. Quickly put about 1 3/4 on Elton Sawyer.
45 laps to go. Final visit. The NASCAR Busch Series cars to Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina for the 2000 season, that is. There's Elton Sawyer, who has led laps today for the first time this year. His best finish, a second up at Nazareth. The rookie Ron Hornaday. And for more on Elton Sawyer, let's check in on the pits with Bill Weber.
And just to update Elton Sawyer, who's having a great day on the track. They've also had a great day in the pits. There are 2 stops today. The first one was 16.68 seconds. The second stop, 16.60. And the car has been so good, no chassis adjustments. Now, can he catch the 2 Roush cars?
Well, that is a $64 question. If we knew the answer to that, we could be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's one thing that having a good race car does. It pumps up the crew and makes those pit stops a couple of seconds faster than when you're battling back for the 20th and 25th spot.
Now, the 82 car, the channel lock machine, slowing on the racetrack. That is Ted Musgrave trying to get across. He now does get across to the inside of the racetrack and will be headed to pit road. Tough break for Musgrave, who had some great runs up at Bristol, Tennessee last Friday and Saturday night.
Slowly comes down pit road. I don't know if he's made contact with the wall or something has happened to the engine. You would think, well, there's no damage to the right side, so I guess that appears to be an engine problem. They probably go under the hood and slam it and push the car to the garage area on the backstretch. There we go. The hood is going up. Let's see if we can see what happens. There's Bill Parsons going by, and the 82 car is high on the racetrack. All of a sudden, whoa, Purvis almost runs in the back of him. Talking about the 4 car.
And the lap before that, Benny, the 43 car of Jay Sauter had a bit of a problem.
As I said, this racetrack is not quite wide enough. About another foot would help a lot of these guys out.
Well, they have the hood still up there on the Musgrave car, and apparently it is an engine problem. It just abruptly occurred, as you saw a moment ago. While they work, we'll show you back up front. It is Jeff Burton, NorthernLights.com colors for the car number 9. That's Ford Taurus showing the way. There's Tony Lambert, the crew chief for Mark Martin, who is in hot pursuit. 107 laps are complete, 40 to go at Darlington. And we welcome you back. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, bringing you action from Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. NASCAR Busch Series style. These are the 2 cars that are shown 1-2 on the field. The 9 car is Jeff Burton. The 60 is Mark Martin. And they have about a 3-second lead over the 3rd place car of Elton Sawyer.
And you can see both these cars very, very equally in speed, equal in speed. Doesn't appear as though either can get an advantage on the other. They have pulled away from the 98 car by about 3 seconds. In the meantime, he's pulled away by about 3/4 of a second in front of the 01 car of Sterling Marlin.
And there is the 01 you're talking about, Benny, the Bell South colors of Sterling Marlin, Bell South. Mobility, Erickson Chevrolet for Sterling back in 3rd position all the way up from his 18th starting spot.
The 2 car of Kevin Harvick is starting to lose some positions. I'm sure that the suspension is beat up after that contact he had with the wall a few laps ago. Just in the last couple of laps, the 57 car, Jason Keller went by. And then the 17 car, Matt Kenseth goes by. And now we have Kenny Wallace up on the back bumper. The Lance car trying to get by Harvick from the 10th position.
Again, Harvick is in 10th spot. Wallace 11th. The 99 car of Michael Waltrip being shown in 12th position. And the one of LaJoie as you watch this battle. There are 15 cars still being shown on the lead lap. Kyle Petty's Sprint Chevrolet is the last car on the lead lap. Benny Givacombe, the car number 20. Good run today for the AT&T efforts of Dave Blaney. There's where Dave started back in 25th position.
And has worked his way up to the 7th position. See, right now he's trying to catch down the 48 car, run down the 48 of Ward Burton, his teammate, over the NASCAR Winston Cup side. And there's about a second between the two cars.
Ward subbing for Mike McLaughlin. This is the C.C. Welliver car that Ward is actually driving today. Frank C.C. Scott and Jeff Welliver. This, of course, the Bill Davis car you're looking back on, being driven by Dave Blaney. AT&T Pontiac of Bill and Gail Davis. Once again, that is 6th and 7th positions.
Jason Keller going by. He's currently in the 8th position. The 33 car of Tony Raines is a lap down, but here comes Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. That is the battle for the 8th spot.
As you take a look at the Visine onboard camera with Matt Kenseth. Let me just revise what I said a moment ago. That is the George Debidar car that owns. He's the owner of the Mike McLaughlin car driven by Ward Burton today. McLaughlin had driven for C.C. Welliver in years past. This is Debidar's car this year. My apologies to George and the team. You see the car number 17 of Matt Kenseth. Surprisingly, Matt did not qualify last Friday night at Bristol, Tennessee in the Busch Series efforts, and so comes to a place where he has had success. In fact, he is a winner here in the past. In the spring of '99, he won here in the Busch Series competition.
Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick, the 2 cars, still in front of the 25 of Kenny Wallace. And Wallace trying to get by. It really is amazing how well the 2 cars running as hard as he hit that wall down in turn 1.
You just joined us. The car number 2 of Kevin Harvick had a pretty significant contact. He was battling with a 98 car of Elton Sawyer. There was a little bit of contact. Sawyer's left front bumper and Harvick's right rear fender. And Harvick bounced off the concrete, wiggled and wobbled and kept it going, but he hit a pretty good lick.
He did hit a good lick. About that spot. He's going through. And he's hanging in there.
What about the car number 99, the Michael Waltrip car that had a problem on lap 13? He spun out of turn 4 to bring out the caution flag. He is now being shown in the 12th position on the lead lap, right in front of the 1 car of LaJoie, and he's right in front of the 71, the Redman Ford of Kevin LePage. And all those cars are on the lead lap, 12th, 13th, and 14th. As here are the cars they are chasing. The car number 9 of Jeff Burton trying to pick up his 3rd win of the 2000 season, and he is just a few laps away. Back with more in just a moment. Back for the last 21 or 2 laps of the Dura Lube 200 here at Darlington Raceway. Jeff Burton is our leader, and Burton is being shown as having led 71 laps. He's led 3 times for 71 laps. There have been 7 different leaders, 13 lead changes.
To the 0-1 car. 3-car battle between the 98, the 0-1, and the 10. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're right in on. There's the 98 white car. He's the 3rd, the 0-1, the blue car. is in fourth and the 10 in fifth. As they go by the Blaze Alexander car.
Now, we mentioned at the top of the show the car number 10 of Jeff Green is our points leader, and you say, why, with just 8 events to go, is he being this aggressive? Well, he's got a 589-point lead, folks. He can do what he wants to do in these final 8 events. Just show up.
Ron Hornaday, the 3 car, moves over, lets these guys go by. Hornaday really caught a tough break. He made an unscheduled pit stop. So I don't know, about 25 laps ago, and just a couple of laps later, the caution flag came out, and there's a battle for the 4th spot. Jeff Green, Sterling Marlin, give it to Green.
Caution is out.
And the caution flag is waving.
Caution is out. Wave him off. Wave him off. Keep coming hard. Don't give anything up.
Well, caution coming out for the 4th time today on lap number 130. And there was some debris on the racetrack. Watch this slow motion here. We'll show some debris coming off up in the air. There it is.
There's flying. Looks like a piece of metal. It finally comes down on the ground, but that's turn 2. And these guys certainly don't need a cut tire at that point of the racetrack. So
there it is, right around the racetrack. There we go. And so NASCAR has spotters all around this racetrack, and they watch very, very carefully for anything like that. As debris comes off, they say, put it out, meaning that flagman Matt Abernathy will wave the yellow flag, which indeed he is doing for the 4th time today. Back with more in a moment. Arlington Raceway, less than 20 laps to go here in this one, the Dura Lube 200, under caution for the 4th time, and guess what? They're all going to pit at 45 miles an hour. 3 leaders coming down pit road as well as others. All 3 Fords, all 3 with Roush engines. Coming to you, Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, at first they made an air pressure change on Jeff Burton's car, and he said, no, let's go back to the way it was, so no big change there. They're going to go around. This very well could be the very last pit stop of the day. We've got the 9 there. The 01 is coming in, and they're going to make a 1-pound air pressure change, dropping on the left front. Mark Martin also in here, so this is a critical pit stop. Who will get out first? Bill Weber.
Eldon Sawyer with a sweeping move into his pit, so he's pointed out properly. No adjustments, 4 tires. 16.68, 16.60 on the 2-stop. The 98 follows the 60 and the 9, then the 10 and the 57 off of pit road.
Wow, 15.9 seconds for Tony Lambert and the Winn-Dixie crew. They get Mark Martin out the quickest of those 3. Once again, we are under caution for debris on the racetrack. Debris over in turn 2. As the crews have made their final stop, we'll come back with the green in a moment. Getting set for the restart. We'll show you our pit summary. And Martin out in second, out first. A look at Keller, 8th to 5th, gained 3 spots. Great pit stop by Steve Eddington and the crew down there. And by the way, Mark Martin, by virtue of taking the lead on pit road, a new record for lead changes here in the September Busch Series race at Darlington. 14 lead changes. Breaking the one set back in September of '84. 13 laps to go. Back at Darlington Raceway as we get set. After the 4th and hopefully final caution flag of the day. Mark Martin pulls away.
Serious racing in the back. All right, folks, we've got about 14 laps to go. Mark Martin could not pass Jeff Burton. He tried a couple of times. Question. Is Jeff, almost contact there between the 20 car and, I don't know who was behind there.
There's Kevin Harvick. Whoa, right into the front fender they go. That is Kenseth and Harvick. They bump again. That's 4th position. That's for 9th spot. Heavy traffic here in the final 12 laps at Darlington Raceway.
And Kenseth goes by the 2 car, takes that spot away. Meanwhile, here comes Mike Dillon, and Ian Phil Parsons going the corner. Dillon is on the flat of the racetrack, and they're 3 wide off 4.
That's Kyle Petty in the sprint Chevy in the middle of that sandwich of 3 wide. Now from the bumper cam of Mike Dillon, looking back at side-by-side action. That's Phil Parsons and Tony Raines, and they are slipping and sliding and beating and banging. Folks, it's Darlington Raceway.
And Mike Dillon gets in the wall off turn 2. He and the 33 car made contact, and both of them get in the wall.
And a car spins up a turn 2 and contact running the side door. Jason Leffler's car that spun. And Lyndon Amick's car, 35, had nowhere to go because right in front of him, right in his windshield, was a sideways MB&A Pontiac of Leffler.
I would guess that all this started back in the between 1 and 2 when the 33 and 21 made contact with the outside retaining wall, and all the cars behind started checking up, and someone, I would guess, ran in the back of Jason Leffler and spun him.
They were really jumbled up there, come off turn 2, as you said, Benny, and got to believe that might have been what happened. Heavy contact. Lyndon Amick had nowhere to go because the Leffler car spun right across the racetrack, right up in front of him, and he just crunched it with the nose of his car into the door.
Oh, where did you get that piece of metal there? All right, here's Mike Dillon. Goes in the corner right here. He's going to go up the racetrack, and they're going to make contact right here. I don't think Dillon made any contact with the wall, but the 21 did. I mean, the 33 did. There we see him go in the corner.
Watch the right side of your screen now, the 18 car.
Now he's 3 wide as he tries to get inside Trickle. He slows, and here comes the 77 of Mike Wallace and gets in the back. And Ricky Hendrick just barely gets through, and there's Lyndon with nowhere to go.
So the contact was from the 77 car of Mike Wallace. Again, middle of your screen, the 18 car, the MB&A, trying to slow to keep him getting up into Dillon, who's already slowed in the wall. There comes the 77 left rear fender, quarter panel. Wow. Leffler says, okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Oops, here comes Lyndon.
Got 1 more to go, and guess what?
Well, that brings up the 5th caution flag of the afternoon. One more look, real time. Hard lick, and that's why NASCAR is so specific and so particular about putting roll cages in these cars. Drivers are okay. We wait for the finish when we come back. Getting set for a Darlington Raceway shootout. We are inside, 10 laps to go. Mark Martin trying to win on his final visit in Busch Series competition to the track. Too tough to tame. Crowd on their feet. We're set for the green flag. 7 laps to go at Darlington Raceway in the 18th running the Dura Lube 200. Martin the leader, Jeff Burton in 2nd spot. 3rd is Elton Sawyer, then Jeff Green, then Ward Burton. That's the top 5.
And Matt Kenseth goes by the 20 car. Dave Blaney takes away a spot. That puts him in 8th spot. And here's Kyle Petty. He stopped, changed tires on that last caution flag. He's trying to work his way to the front. That would be a battle for the 13th spot if he gets by Michael Waltrip in the Aaron's Rent Chevrolet. Can't quite make it.
Right behind Kyle Petty is the 1 car of LaJoie. He came on the pit road and made a chassis adjustment, did not change tires. Probably didn't have any tires left under the caution. They only are allowed 3 sets per position under caution. So LaJoie now trying to make a move beneath Michael Waltrip. Kyle Petty has made the pass. Watching this side-by-side battle here. The 99, the 1, and the 66 car is actually a lap down.
Some contact there, and I don't guess. And Jimmy Johnson has spun off turn 4.
He's got a crash on the front stretch. He's got to run back to the line now. Don't give nothing up.
Now, Mark Martin and Jeff Burton both backed off up there just momentarily, but now they've got to race back to the line. The race may be over.
Here they come out of turn 4. It'll be 6 laps from the checkered flag, and they know there's a car spun. Mark Martin will cross and take the caution flag. Then Burton, Sawyer, Green, and Ward Burton. That's the top 5. Here as caution number 6 is being waved on lap 143. There's Jimmy Johnson climbing out of his Altel Chevrolet.
Yeah, he's applauding someone. Let's see what we see here. There he comes off the corner, Johnson, and there's some contact. Is that the 53 car of Hank Parker Jr.? Looks like he gets in the back, and boom! Head on in the wall goes Johnson. And Phil Parsons, it looks like Phil Parsons and both Hank Parker Jr. barely get by.
Well, Jimmy Johnson has done such a great job. He qualified fourth today, has had 2 sixth-place finishes. Once again, here's the contact. Hank Parker Jr. on the inside. He is a lap down. Here's Johnson's car up across the racetrack. Oh, and a tough break for the Alltel Chevrolet driver, Jimmy Johnson, trying to get a good finish.
Check on board with Mike Dillon. He just barely gets by. And Johnson had just passed Mike Dillon going in turn 3 on that lap.
Now look from across pit road. Well, we are under caution for the 6th time a day. The caution coming out on lap 142, and they have put the red flag out so we can finish under green here at Darlington. Back in a moment. Back at Darlington Raceway with our Napa Field summary showing you just a couple laps to go as we get set for the restart. Martin Burton, Sawyer Green, and Ward Burton are the top 5. All 15 of those were on the lead lap.
And 16 through 29, 1 lap down, so 1 slip. And these guys can go from the lead back to 15. From 16th on back to 29. Green flag.
All right, the green waves on lap 146 as they start lap 146.
Mark Martin, hang on, Gary. We know that Mark Martin wants this last NASCAR Busch Series race in Darlington. He wants that victory probably as much as anyone he's ever been in, a race he's been in.
They will come down this time for the white flag from Matt Abernathy. Final time for Mark Martin at Darlington Raceway. He is the winningest Busch Series driver ever. 7 victories. Will he make it 8 today? He will never come back here in a Busch car. But his teammate, Jeff Burton, trying to reel him in from 3 car lengths back, down the back straightaway for the final time in his illustrious career at the granddaddy of all stock car facilities, Will Martin. Hang on for his 8th career Busch Series win, and it looks like indeed he will. The fans are on their feet cheering, and Mark Martin will take the victory. Jeff Burton in 2nd spot. Elton Sawyer is 3rd, then Jeff Green and Ward Burton rounding out the top 5. Oh, it is going to be an emotional victory lane as Tony Lambert and the Winn-Dixie crew for Jack Roush Racing will go up and celebrate with this driver right here, 41-year-old Mark Martin, his 8th victory at Darlington Raceway. We are back at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina, and the man on his final visit, where better for him to finish it up than in victory lane. As Mark Martin climbs out of the Winn-Dixie Ford Taurus, and this crowd and the victory lane people are applauding. What a great career he has had here at Darlington Raceway in Busch competition. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
And congratulations, Mark, your 8th career win here, and you had to work for it with Burton right behind you.
Boy, he was really hooked up today, and I was pretty lucky. The Winn-Dixie team did a great job on pit road and beat him out of the pits, and we chased the chassis setup all day, and the last time was pretty good, and we had the track position too, so it would have been hard to pass Jeff, but that's the best we ran, I think, the whole race there at the end.
Your 45th career victory in the Busch Series, and you've had many of those great moments right here at this track.
We won a lot of races here, and I'm really going to miss running this Winn-Dixie Taurus. It's just a joy to drive a race car that's so good, and it's just always a contender week in and week out, and I'm going to miss it, but I've got 4 more to go.
You had your hands full at the beginning of the race, didn't you?
Yeah, the car was bad loose on that first set of tires, and that was the set of tires I qualified on, and I was real bad loose on them, and I didn't know what to do for the first adjustment. We did a little bit. It wasn't enough, so then we did a bunch on the next one. It was too much. And then we came back and kind of split the difference there at the end, and it was the car was working well.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark Martin in victory lane again at Darlington.
All right, the unofficial results of the Dura Lube 200 shows Mark Martin is the winner. In fact, we got a Ford sweep in the first 3 spots. The last time that has happened was 1995 at Talladega, when it was Chad Little, Jimmy Spencer, and Kenny Wallace. So Fords for Martin, Burton, and Sawyer. Then the first Chevrolet for Jeff Green, our points leader. Ward Burton in a substitute role finishes 5th in the car number 48.
Check out 16 through 30, 16 through 29. Once again, all these cars 1 lap down, Ashton Lewis, the first car, 2 laps down in 30th spot. And look at Ron Hornaday. That ill-timed pit stop has him back in 34th spot.
All right, back down to Ray and Jeff Burton, our runner-up.
Well, Jeff, as always, pit stop's important here. You always chase the track here. Tell us about your day.
Well, we had a good day. We came from a long way pretty quick. Car was a lot better than I anticipated it being. Obviously, there at the end, we didn't have the pit stop we needed, but the guys work hard, they try hard, and we had great pit stops all day. We just didn't have a good pit stop or a great pit stop when we needed it. We had a good pit stop, it just wasn't great, and we still need to be able to overcome it. We had enough laps, and I made the car a little bit too tight on the last run, but nonetheless, it was a good day for us.
Okay, these guys always learning in the Busch Series. Hopefully make their car better tomorrow afternoon.
All right, 7 events remaining in this Busch Series championship chase. And how about the points? Well, for the NASCAR Busch Series championship, Jeff Green will retain the points lead. Jason Keller in second spot. There's a separation back third, fourth, and fifth. As you see now, Phil Parsons moved in the 10th spot as Jimmy Johnson had that tough break here in the late laps at Darlington. Of course, happy hour coming your way tonight. The final hour of practice in NASCAR's Winston Cup action, 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. And, of course, tomorrow, all the action from Darlington Raceway, RPM today. NASCAR today with Bill Weber, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And, of course, our live flag-to-flag coverage of the Pepsi Southern 500 presented by Kmart. We'll wrap it up with RPM tonight at 10:30 Eastern time, a 1-hour version starting this Sunday and each and every Sunday. For Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, I'm Jerry Punch. Once again, congratulating Mark Martin on his win today in the Dura Lube 200. Remember, coming up next, the PGA Air Canada Championships. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time, the 51st running of the Pepsi Southern 500. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Today, the darling of Darlington, Mark Martin, bids farewell from where else? Victory Lane, his 8th and final win at the track too tough to take. Congratulations.